Hi everyone, I'm Jay and this is Vroom Vroom. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's been a struggling couple of months as far as bike sales go. As I mentioned before, it's been difficult in the UK to be getting rid of second-hand bikes, other than ones that have been accident damaged or stolen recovered. However, I have now sold a couple of bikes and it's time to bring a couple in. You've seen in the thumbnail that the Ducati is now with me. It's a gorgeous looking bike and I can't wait to get started on it. Dispel a myth here. Some people have been asking me about subscribing. It's free. There's no monthly cost. There's no yearly cost. There's no money changes hands at all. It is free to subscribe, so please do subscribe. And if you do like the video, please click on the like button because it raises me up from the bottom of the YouTube pile up just one off of the bottom of the YouTube pile. So that's kind of where that bit lays. So hopefully this will be a good video. It's good to be back, and well, let's get on and see what this Ducati is all about. So I've always had a bit of a wish list since I started the channel, and that was a list of bikes that I did want to get. BMW I got done. That was a hard bike because of the clutch on that one. Triumphs, I've had a couple of Triumphs, they were on the list, and Ducati was, and I've never been able to get one at the right price at the right time, and this has just fallen into my lap, and it's a monster. It's a 798, a Monster 798. It's a 2014 model, which I think it might have been the last year for this particular bike or design, or am I thinking about the other one? Because I was looking at two on the auction site. So this is the one anyway. So I'm gonna have a quick look around it, and we'll start a plan. So at first glance, doesn't look too bad, does it? I have noticed that this is a gold color, where the other side is black. So yeah, that needs to be changed. Back of the bike looks pretty good. Chain will need sorting out because where it's been sitting, it's not looking the best, so I'm going to have a look at that and see if I'm going to replace it or it can be brought back. The panels on the back look really good, as does the seat. The tank, now I've taken the sticker off of it, it's really good as always. Oh, hate that sticky stuff. But the tank is spotless. The frame down here looks really good, and then we start getting to a couple of bits that do need attention. The mirror isn't scraped at all, it's just a little bit dirty. I'm missing a tiny little switch off the indicator, which is fine. The end bobble, because it's plastic, so I'm going to call it a bobble, is scraped and bashed, so we'll don't know if that can be saved, but we'll see. It's going to need some new grips because these are ripped to pieces. The clutch cable, the clutch lever is toast, which is fine. And then I'm going to come around this side just for a second. Now on this side you can see the actual bodywork again is perfect, so I'm really pleased about that. What I'm really weird is there's a sticker on here. We'll see about that later. Hope it's not covering anything too nefarious. So coming around the front, I thought that was a scratch, it's not, it's a bit of dust. This is where we are going to have to do a little bit of work because it looks like the fork seal has gone, and that will need addressing, so that's fine. We can take that off and change the fork seal, won't take too long. And damage wise, from a cosmetic point of view, is really good. However, I haven't started this bike. Oh, there is a bit of good news, a bit more good news on here, which was the mileage is ultra low. One key, which is a shame. I can hear the fuel tank, but it was described as a non-runner. So 7,770 miles, which I think you agree is pretty decent on a 2014 bike. I haven't tried to start it. I'm not going to yet. I'm just going to dip the oil before I do anything else on it. Our garage in the auction because it went over and done that slight bit of damage here. So if that's all that it is, and the slight bit of damage on the back, yeah, if that is all it is, then yeah, happy days, we'll give it a start. But let's dip the oil and just make sure there's some in it. Just turn that off. And I don't know the condition of the battery yet. It's okay on the fuel pump, but not quite so sure. Let's have a look and see the oil. Okay, I'd say that I've got this bike tilted towards me slightly. I'd say that's about centre, which on the lower level of the oil, but it's okay. So let's drop that back down on the stand, and you know what? Let's see what happens. Kill switch isn't on. Yeah, that battery's flat. Right, so I'm going to stick it on charge and I'll come back to you in a moment. So I'm doing just a little bit more investigation and just come across under the seat the... Oh, that's nice. Full tool set, nice. You have to excuse the audio on this bit, I haven't got my mic on, but just thought I'd let you know, I'm going to wash this now, which is always a good revealer of secrets. And since yesterday, which was the first part of the video you saw about a couple of seconds ago, I have now removed the clutch lever, which was very, very easy on this. I've ordered the new one, the new grips, and I'm going to hold off on the oil seal for the forks until I've heard it run. Oh, and I also sprayed the back bit black, but then dropped it. That's not good, is it? No. Anyway, let's get on with the wash and see how it comes out and see if I can find anything else that's worrying in the meantime. Right, so in the spirit of before and after, it's now had a nice wash and it's yeah, looking really smart, and I'm hoping if the engine's fine then this was a bargain. If it's not, then yeah, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. However, this is what I mentioned before, the hazard tape there on the back wheel. It seems like it's like a fold back tape. I'm hoping it's not cut some kind of redneck wheel repair, and we'll see what's underneath it. But it's a beautiful looking bike, absolutely stunning. So let's get the next bit now. Also, I was looking at how to take the battery off, and it's a bit of a palaver. The tank's got to come off. It's hidden under the engine, which is fine. I may just jump start it. I've had a look at the battery voltage, which you can do through the dash on these, and it was sitting about 11.6, and I know it's been sitting for months. So I'm going to jump it, see if it will take a charge, and then we'll see what happens then. Well, we'll jump it. Hopefully it'll start. So you'll see what happens anyway in a sec. So on to the next job, and this is a yeah, this is a big one. I've been kind of putting this off for a little while, but it does need to be started, this bike, and so today's the day that's going to happen. I can't see the start solenoid very easily to jump it, so I'm going to take the seat off have a look, see how much I have to actually dismantle to get to any kind of connector that's going to give me the opportunity to get 12 volts to the bike. I haven't seen a trickle cable for it either, so I'll look out for one of those on the way. But in the meantime, let's strip it down and see what happens. Unfortunately, with this bit, I had a massive mic failure, and I lost all of the audio from this, which is probably good because it was extremely boring. So what I decided to do here was just to get the seat off, which was absolutely easy. Stick the key in, turn it, bosh, bish bash bosh, it's off. You know how to do that. And then take the tank off. First time doing a Ducati one, so it was a little bit of an experience just finding out where the different bolts go, what sizes they are, and trying to remember where they are, so when I put it back I'm not swearing too much. So what did I do? Right, 2 actual Allen bolts which were at the front, on the side, and 2 at the rear, which was nice and easy. And then because this is just a plastic cover that goes over the fuel tank, I then started to undo the black rib which runs down the middle across the top of the tank that just holds the plastic panels in place. This again was very easy, just 10, 12, 14 tiny little Allen bolts. They were all the same size, and the good thing is Ducati thought about this and they made them all the same length, so putting them back will not be an issue. That particular part was quite easy and it didn't take too long. What happened after this, well, I'll wait till I get the covers off. But what isn't in the video is after I done the video, finished it, done the end part, the outro, I actually found the reason why the oil was so low, and that was because there is a hole in the crankcase on the left hand side. I did find that the gear lever was broken and I ordered one of those. What I didn't notice was 2 inches along from that there was a hole in the crankcase, so that explains why there was no oil, which a little bit of a relief because it does mean that the engine wasn't burning it, and at 7,500 miles for the engine, that's pretty good. But it does mean that I don't know if the engine was run without the oil, but there was still some in it, which you saw earlier when I was tipping the bike up and down just to see where it was. So once I got those plastic panels off, what I did find is that there were another 2 bolts, one each side, and these were different sizes and different heads, but we'll forgive whoever the previous owner was for doing that, because who hasn't misplaced a bolt, right? Yeah, it's that easy to do. But once I got them off, it only left one particular bolt at the back, and when I stuck the Allen head, the Allen wrench in there, Allen key in there, first of all I had trouble getting in, but it was just dirty. I did looking at it, did wonder if it was an Allen key, but it was. So I had to just take a breath, think about it, and realise that it was being held from underneath. So it needed a top and a bottom Allen key just to get that particular part off, and then it just came apart nice and easily, which was really good. That just made it to the point where you could just slip the tank backwards, and then, as you see in the video, I use a nice handy piece of wood just to hold it up, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and it gave me access to the battery. And I don't know if I say this later on, but I also found the tether cable for the battery, so I didn't need to do any of this because to save myself some time. But it's good just to get a working knowledge of how these bikes go together, and it's all about just learning and making sure that you know what you're doing should the time come to it. So that was it. Enjoy the music. Just a very quick update before I go in. I've just hooked the bike up to the trickle charger, which will bring the battery up overnight. full power. But just been giving it some thought, and I normally do my best thinking in my sleep, but I'm going to drain the oil. I think the noise was coming from maybe the clutch basket, but I haven't got a clutch lever at the moment, so it's hard to tell. We'll have to have a listen to that anyway. And I've tested some fuses and they seem to be okay. So, but there are more fuses. But we'll get to those in time. So just interjecting there in the video, but still a lot to do on this. And yeah, I was due one. I know I was due one that required just a little bit more mechanical work and what could be quite a big mechanical job, but we'll have to see. But I don't know, cosmetically perfect, mechanically not quite so much. The only thing I can think of at the moment, because these bikes, first of all, it's 7,000 miles, so it should be running near new, but it looks like it was just dropped on one side, but it wasn't even. This is probably the lightest cosmetic damage bike I've had in a long time, and for it just to bend the clutch levers, you know, scrape a tiny mark on the exhaust and rip the grip slightly. Unless it was just running for ages on its side, I can't see what the problem would be there. But there's lots to dig into here, so we'll take that away and back to the video. Right, so good, give this a go. I have left the mic off because if it does start, that microphone tends to cut the exhaust noise out, so we'll see what happens next. Been charging now for about only half an hour or so, but it's long enough just to see if there's any power. Not brilliant. Hear a noise from the crankcase that I'm not overly happy with. I thought I heard also during that a fuse blow, which might be the reason why it cut out then. So a few things to look at there. Now when I did look at it before, there was oil in it. I'm wondering if there's just not enough there. I wasn't showing an old light. And the battery's now showing 12.5 volts, which is better than it was. So I think I need to stick the charger on until we're at definitely 100%, and then take it from there. I'm also going to put in just a little bit more oil see if that makes a difference. It's good that it started, but there's definitely a little bit more to do before we call this job done. So a little bit of an update. The clutch lever arrived today, so I've just put it on there, and I've managed to get it up and down the road just for a little bit of a quick test drive. And yes, no back brake, so I think the master cylinder's had it, but that's an easy fix. That's a, well, 10 to 20 pounds for a master cylinder, so that isn't a big deal. The front brake, I actually felt like there could be air in it. It worked, but it wasn't brilliant. But the biggest, well, the good side was it started, and the bad news is I actually think it needs a clutch, because it's not. I did put some oil in it before, and so I'm just going to have to hold you in a weird angle while I start this. If I There's a hell of a noise coming from the clutch. Which when right, because of this mic, I'm not sure how much of that picked up, but it's there's a lot of noise coming from the clutch. So I'm gonna do the clutch, get the master cylinder for the back, sort out the front brakes. I mean, if that fork seal's gone, then that front brake pads, those front brake pads on the left are going to be saturated, which would be a good enough reason to show why I'm not getting a good decent brake there. But then yeah, we'll kind of take it from there. I think I wouldn't expect the clutch to be gone at 8,000 miles, but you never know. I've got no history on how this bike was ridden, so, but it wasn't stolen recovered, and it was moving at the time it went over, because one thing I did notice last night, which I hadn't before, is yeah, the absence of the gear lever. So I've ordered one of those as well, and that's it. I mean, I did look at worst case scenario last night when I was looking at the engine, thinking if it was an engine out job, just to give me a price point. And a replacement engine on this with low mileage is around £700, which is, it's a bargain really, isn't it? But I like to fix things, so we'll get that off. We'll get the clutch done, and we'll see if the noise goes away. So that's going to take a little bit of research, but the oil that's in there looks good, and when I pull the oil out, I'm going to just check it anyway, just to make sure it's okay. But it was a little bit low on oil, so that's worrying me slightly. Is it burning oil? If not, then why was it low on oil? Yes, loads of questions, not that many answers at the minute, but we will find them. I do like this bike, and it may have to stay with me for a while as my bike. Yeah, always wanted a Ducati. We'll see. So that's it for the video for now. There's a lot to be done on this bike, and the way it came off of the trailer, it was too good to be true, and it is too good to be true. So there is a lot to be done, but we're going to get to it, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. And until next time, stay safe. Ride carefully, guys.